The prince wasn't too disappointed?
She didn't express her gratitude, at any rate.
With you, she must not be used to failure. The others were pretty surprised, in fact.
Were they?
Some of them think you're not as motivated as you used to be. They think you're tired. They're wrong, aren't they?
I'm not done yet. This body has many long years ahead of it.
Then you'll have to prove to them. Those who are disappointed today will be your enemies tomorrow.
Let them talk.
You didn't tell me what was in those files you gave the prince.
I don't see how that's any of your business.
To make up your own mind about something, the best way is to go to the source. And apparently, Jason Moore is well informed.
I see. You'll have to be patient, Fang.
Do you think that this setback will be an issue for our plans to...
A favor from the prince wouldn't have hurt. But it's not the be-all, end-all in determining your fate. How do you feel about it?
Honestly, I just want to get it over with. Like when you're going into finals.
Even if there's no going back?
It's a little late for that, isn't it?
It is.
Your child, Beryl Underwood, did he have any second thoughts?
I don't want to discuss it.
He's your only child, so I wondered how it went. Well, could you enlighten me?
Beryl is very different from you. He always has been. I was blind. It won't happen again. Beryl would have begged me to get what he wanted. Your patience reassures me. I'm making the right choice with you.
You seem to really have a problem with him.
Yes, and that's why you must stay away from him.
This separation between you, what caused it?
Don't dig too far into it. You know this is something I don't discuss.
That's too bad.
I'm not one to beat around the bush, especially on a matter like this. So either be frank with me, or be silent.
I'm sorry, it's just that it's not easy for me.
I'm listening.
Beryl asked me to come by and see him.
Did you?
I didn't think anything bad could happen. I actually thought that...
You ignored what I told you. Don't ever do that again. What did he want with you?
Nothing in particular. He wanted to get to know me. He told me about Seattle, the Camarilla. He was just being nice, that's all.
Beryl isn't nice. He's dangerous. I'm going to have a word with him.
But...
Wait here.
Just one more, and then you can go rest.
All right. Thanks, Ms. Ortiz.
Any news here?
Everyone is stressed out. I've never seen anything like it. They're all talking in hushed voices. They barely dare to look at each other.
People and their moods. I'm not interested in that.
I saw them take one of Jason Moore's bodyguards below. To question him, I imagine. That could be of interest to you. Say, how are things with the girl?
Excuse me.
It's Zhu Feng, right?
She's not a girl.
Things going okay?
Yes, things are fine.
She seems worried.
Don't worry about her.
Do you think you'll embrace her soon?
As soon as possible, once the prince gives me permission.
You met Fang at MIT, didn't you?
I first discovered her by reading one of her articles.
What does she write?
She studies the blue economy.
To each his own. I don't even know what that means.
It's about hope. A hope of making up for centuries of exploitation.
Since when are you concerned about that?
Since I saw Beryl poison our kind.
Blood or money? I've never embraced anyone.
I'd better be going.
See you.
A message from Caius. Need you downstairs. Urgent issue. Bad timing. I'm going to have to choose. Help Caius or speak with Beryl.
There's no point in hanging around here bothering me. It's gonna take me a while.
Very well, Mr. Sheridan. Please excuse me. Mr. Bazori, your child is in his office.
Caleb? By... You? Here? How extraordinarily rare. To what do I owe the honor?
Enough, Beryl. Did you speak with Feng?
I'm not one to keep an eye on the comings and goings of your retainers.
Did you speak to her?
So much fuss about nothing.
You know very well what she is to me, and what she'll be soon.
If the prince authorizes it...
It's only a matter of time.
I sincerely hope so. I ran into her recently, it's true, but we hardly said a word to one another.
Stop it right now. I know you saw Feng. Right here. I already told you not to speak to her again.
Come again?
Don't try to deny it. You spoke to her.
Fine, she came here. I don't see what the problem is.
What exactly is driving you?
Unlike you, I don't try to control the lives of those around me. Feng still enjoys a certain degree of freedom, doesn't she, to choose whom she sees? We ran into each other by accident, and we didn't speak for long.
I know you're lying, but I don't know why. There's nothing unusual about me trying to find out about a meeting between her and my child. Why are you being so mysterious about it?
I'm not being mysterious. She had a lot of questions. I couldn't bring myself to ignore her. I really don't see the harm in it.
It's not your business to understand.
I'd really like to, though. I just wanted to give her some advice, to help guide her through this brave, dangerous new world. When it comes to that, I don't think you're doing enough. Am I mistaken?
You're projecting yourself onto her.
I beg your pardon?
After all this time, you still haven't gotten over it. You don't know anything about my relationship with Fang. Don't try to judge it, or worse, interfere with it.
It's possible that this sudden appearance brings back some bitter memories. And when you're confined here, it's easy to ruminate. My intentions were sincere, but I realize now how they could be misconstrued.
That is the case.
Your concern for Fang is to your credit. It really is. However, I can't help making comparisons with my own past experiences.
You shouldn't.
It was long ago, I admit. But I'm still your only child.
You're jealous.
I'm not jealous. Although I do regret the unfortunate turn our relationship has taken. I'm worried about Fang, honestly. You would worry too if you were in my shoes. I just want to make sure she doesn't go through the same thing I did. The crushing weight of disappointment. The distance. The disdain.
Beryl, I'm sorry. I made a mistake with you.
A mistake? What, pray tell, did you ever do to make things go awry? You dropped me in a hornet's nest and left me to dodge the stings. I've been nothing but alone from the very start. You gave up, Caleb. And did you ever once consider fixing your mistake?
That's why I'm doing things differently with Fang. I don't want to make the same mistake again.
Ah, such eloquence, which never ceases to surprise me. You've always wielded words with such deadly skill. But there is one small detail it seems you have forgotten. You won't be there for her much longer.
What?
Think about it. You're the oldest person in this city now. It gnaws at you like it does all the elders. You can feel it inside you, and it will grow and grow until you finally give in. How long do you think it will be before you leave too?
I'd weigh your words. One might think you actually want me gone.
Far be it from me to want that.
Yet you seem so eager to replace me, even purring up to Fang. That doesn't seem like a very loyal attitude to have.
I won't let you question my loyalty.
Then do something to prove it. Then we'll talk.
Actually, if I understand you right, and I think I do, we're of the same mind. With a few minor differences.
Is that so?
We both want what's best for Fang. So then why can't I see her?
You are my progeny, my only child, and I'm here to ask you one very simple thing. Think of it as a favor if you want.
But you don't see that I think I'd be doing you a disfavor. Feng needs to talk, and your only child is a precious resource, don't you think? For once, I was looking out for someone. I know you think I'm selfish, a manipulator, but things aren't always black or white. You of all people should know that. I'm worried for Feng. She needs someone, because you can't be there for her all the time.
I thought I had made myself clear. I don't want to hear about any more secret meetings between the two of you.
Have no fear. I know what I must do.
Watch yourself.
I think we've said just about all there is to say. You'd best be going.
I wasn't planning on staying, be sure of that.
It's been a pleasure. Please excuse me if I don't see you out.
He's unpredictable. I need to take more drastic measures if I want to stop him from causing trouble. Caius again. They locked it down. Too late to go see him. Hazel is probably ready to see me now. I won't make her wait. I've seen princes come and go. In the end, it always comes down to a struggle for power between the prince and their primogen. Hazel is strong, but will she last much longer?
Caleb, I was wondering when I'd run into you.
Victoria, what a surprise. I didn't know you had decided to walk among us.
I'm always where you'd least expect me. It feels like I've been away for ages. Boston has changed so much. The only thing that hasn't changed is your steadfast presence at court.
Is that a problem?
You know it's not. I'm just surprised, that's all. There's a whole world outside this city, you know?
I'll serve our family as long as it needs me.
You are a reassuring presence. I must admit I was a bit surprised not to find Quentin King in charge.
Quentin gave in to the beckoning 4 years ago. Ms. Iverson runs Boston now.
How droll. I never thought King would give up his precious crown. He was so attached to it. Iverson is lucky she can count on your loyalty. You're a valuable resource, Caleb, especially in times like these.
I'm only doing my duty.
Ever the cheerful one.
So many elders are gone, and yet, here you are. How is it possible?
Because I want to, that's all. I enjoy my existence. Why give it up?
But you must also feel that force. The insistent calling, night after night.
Yes, but unlike so many others, I have a reason to resist. Don't you?
I still have some ties that keep me here. I won't leave without having one more child.
You're sure taking your time.
I'm waiting for the prince's blessing. It shouldn't be long now. Fang will be embraced soon.
Fang! Oh yes, I see. She seems charming, spirited even. You have a knack for finding true gems. I remember your sire, Jean-Baptiste Tavernier, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct.
I didn't see him at court. I remember he was very popular back in the day.
He left with all the others.
Oh. I know the two of you were very close. His absence must have left quite the void.
I have no energy to waste on regrets. Jean-Baptiste had no choice. No more than I do. That's all there is to say on the matter.
Of course. I'd expect nothing less from you.
You seem to have met Feng.
We had the chance to talk last night. She was pacing the floor while you were gone.
I told her to keep quiet.
And she did. She's a smart, young woman of great consequence. You shouldn't treat her like a child.
She's still young and naive. This is the first time she's come with me to court.
Really? Well, she's doing very well for a beginner. You should be proud of your apprentice, Caleb. She knows how to behave. I've known children who were less well-mannered.
Your own.
I embraced some pretty strong personalities. I know how hard it is to let go.
I'm not overprotective of her, if that's what you mean.
That's not the impression you give off. I hope you're able to find a balance, or you'll both suffer.
I hadn't heard you were coming to Boston.
Indeed. I wouldn't be stuck in this tower if I hadn't gotten wind of your arrangement with Hartford.
Well, isn't that a shame?
It's not been a complete waste. I met your prince, and I got to see a few old friends. I just hope it's not at the cost of my unlife.
You don't seem to be hurt. I take it you weren't at the party last night.
Heavens no. I was in your prince's personal suite. We hadn't even left yet when the Code Red was initiated.
Good timing.
Good timing indeed. When I think that the Second Inquisition's butchers were lying in wait, I'd shiver. If I could.
My obligations to Hazel kept me away from the court last night. Did I miss anything important?
No, nothing much. I ran into Burrell. He was with your charming little protege.
I don't like the sound of that. Did you hear their conversation?
That would have been very impolite of me.
Good evening.
Goodbye, Caleb.
The prince?
Sorry, Mr. Bazori. Miss Jory's quarters are off limits.
What's going on here?
Mr. Leto's orders. We've got to clean up.
Asshole.
Now she's sending you.
Run into some trouble with the prince?
That's a question to ask Hazel. She's the one who doesn't know what she wants.
Did she ask you to do something?
She summoned me like a servant. I know she doesn't trust me, even though I don't understand why. She's gone all paranoid Ice Queen, and there's no way I'm gonna let it cost me my head. I don't know how you still put up with her.
You owe your place in the Primogen to her.
What, you think I don't know that? I've always done my best to keep her from screwing things up. But when she reached out to Hartford...
Hartford is a key part of her plan.
We can't count on Hartford. There are other chantries, other kindred who could help us. After what happened last night, I'm not sure you realize just how deep the shit we are in goes.
And I suppose you have the solution?
Maybe. Not that I'm happy about it. There's interesting stuff going on in other places. Boston's not the center of the universe.
We don't know who can be trusted. This is no time to leave. If the prince has kept you in the dark, she must have had a good reason for it. Just look at what happened.
Open your eyes, Caleb! The Boston Camarilla is crumbling before our eyes! What are the odds we survive?
Hazel has things under control. We'll get through this.
I have a hard time believing that. We have to prepare for the worst.
This kind of talk is beneath you.
You know what it's like to feel called to be elsewhere.
That has nothing to do with this. Salem isn't elsewhere. You won't be any safer there.
It's just a starting point. We thaumaturgs will find a way to deal with it.
I see that you've planned for everything.
I've already lost too much time. You shouldn't waste your time either.
If you leave, Hazel will catch up with you.
What do you mean?
You know, she doesn't like people who have been disloyal, especially now.
Hazel doesn't need new enemies. She should be wary.
Be careful.
Goodbye, Caleb.
Caleb, our secret agent is back already. The soldier is on furlough.
Not for long, I'm afraid. The prince will undoubtedly have some new task for me.
At least she trusts you. She hardly speaks to her primogen. Even Beryl is in the dark.
He's not used to that. It'll be good for him.
Are you still not talking?
You could say that.
Any regrets?
I'm planning to make up for it with Fang.
Oh, so that's why you've become attached to that girl.
I'm not attached to her. She's an asset for the Camarilla, and a necessary balance to temper Beryl's wicked games.
Personally, I find that giving a child so much power is dangerous. The problem is that you have to watch them all the time, otherwise they end up making a mess of things.
But trying to influence them is pointless.
You must be subtle about it, that's all. I give Mem just enough freedom so that she doesn't completely hate me. But I know exactly how to make her do whatever I want. Do you really think you'll have time to embrace Fang?
What do you mean?
Well, with all the elders gone, who knows who'll be next?
That's not something I'm willing to discuss with you.
Suit yourself.
No, excuse me, I have to go.
Of course.
I'm gonna go get a drink soon.
It's never been this quiet here.
I need to see you there.
Okay, sure.
The First Inquisition. The first time our supremacy was challenged. A peace agreement that put an end to a bloody revolt. Ancilla against neonates. Camarilla against anarchs. A copy of a treatise on metal transfusion. Dijon gave it to Hazel when they first started working together.
The prince is ready to see you now.
Great.
Caleb.
My prince.
We were expecting you.
How may I be of service to you this time?
One thing at a time. The situation has changed. The money is gone. The accounts have been emptied.
What? That's impossible.
Only Jason Moore could have transferred the money. The situation is dire.
Moore would never have done it on his own. He would never have dared.
I agree. It's much too bold a move for him. And that's what concerns me the most. Someone used him to attack us. Someone who was extremely well prepared.
I spoke with Beryl. He's up to something.
The problem with your child is that he's always up to something. How am I supposed to know if it's not in my best interest?
We must keep an eye on him.
You're not telling me everything, Caleb. I'm your prince. You know you can trust me.
I don't understand him anymore. I forbade him from seeing Zufang, but he disobeyed. It's all one big, twisted game for him.
That's a strictly personal matter.
Who knows what he's really hiding?
Of course, like all the others. It's impossible to have anyone you can trust in this court, even in the middle of the worst crisis we've ever faced. Failure is a luxury we will soon be unable to afford. If you have nothing more to say, we can move on to the reason I sent for you.
What did you think about Richard Dunham's file?
Money that should be going to me seems to go missing whenever he touches it. Richard is far too important to me. I can't afford to upset him now. But if his research doesn't pay off soon, I won't hesitate to show him my disappointment.
Did you read Jaradori's file?
I wish I'd never seen it.
There's too much I despise in it.
She never mentioned she was monitoring the Primogen's finances. Or this, Catapotis. What on earth is it?
I've got no idea.
It doesn't add up. It seemed important to her.
But she's not here to shed any light on it.
I'm listening.
I've asked for your presence here because I have a new mission for you. Delsin was able to track down the men who attacked us.
It wasn't easy, but it was impossible for them to disappear without leaving a trace after what they did yesterday.
Where are they hiding?
Long Island.
Yes, of course. An abandoned facility just off the coast. An old fort. It's the ideal place for a secret base.
And certainly much more. Who knows what they're up to out there?
How is it we didn't notice a thing?
They have abundant resources, and we're short on eyes.
It doesn't matter. We'll find the people responsible for the situation later. Our most pressing issue is preventing them from striking us again.
How?
You're going to go there and kill their leader.
As I've said before, you can count on me.
Good. That's what I was hoping you'd say. When the time comes, I won't forget to reward those who've been loyal to me.
I won't let you down. What's the plan?
They evacuated the bodies from the site of the party, which is how we were able to pick up their trail.
There's a small, nondescript warehouse at Jeffrey's Point. As far as we can tell, their transfers from Boston to Long Island are made by boat. To avoid drawing attention to themselves, they've chosen to employ only small craft. There are bodies packed in the warehouse waiting to be shipped over. Do you get the picture?
You want me to disguise myself as a body to be evacuated?
Exactly. All you have to do is stop simulating your vital functions for a few hours.
It's risky.
It's risky, but it's now or never. We might never get another opportunity. We have to try.
The last transfer is probably going to take place tonight. After that, there's no way of knowing when we'll get another chance.
I need to know the details.
Let us worry about getting you into the warehouse. We've made all the preparations. You won't have to worry about a thing until you get to Long Island.
And after that?
Once you're on the island, you'll be in uncharted territory. You'll be on your own.
Who is my target?
Walter Stanford.
He's the head of the Boston Task Force. He's part of what they call the Society of Leopold.
Someone else will take his place.
No need for you to worry about that for the time being. Your mission is to eliminate Stanford, and that's all.
What do we know about this Stanford?
Not much. They're very careful. He was sent from the Vatican, and he brought other fanatics with him. If he's here, it means that Rome has faith in him, and that can't be good for us.
He's got to be taken out.
What's the Vatican getting out of all this?
Your guess is as good as mine. But it seems that the kind are trying to get a better understanding of us in order to hunt us more effectively. These priests have been our enemies for ages. They have knowledge.
Putting an end to them is crucial. We must keep our enemies from unifying their strength.
Aren't you worried someone will tip off the SI? There's still a traitor among us.
The traitors, my department. You need to strike quickly, and don't let anyone know of your plans. We can't take the slightest risk.
All right. I've heard enough.
Very well. Then you should get going. We've already lost enough time.
Very well. My prince.
guessing you tipped Bazori off to the traitor?
Yes.
Any news?
Nothing since Richard's report. My city is in danger. Everything I've built, all the dreams I've invested. That Judas is a threat to everything.
Not for long. You'll bounce back.
Yes. Congratulations on your negotiations with the Chantry. Our agreement with Hartford is crucial.
Your wish is my command.
I always knew I could count on you. You're a true ally, a loyal one, a future asset in my primogen. But one thing at a time. Before we get there, I have another favor to ask of you.
What a surprise.
About what I told you earlier concerning Delson and Long Island. I've got a plan.
Oh, I know that look. Hazel.
This is the best moment to strike.
That sounds like the definition of rushing into things.
Yes, but we have no choice. Delson?
We need to blind them, from the inside. They know too much about it. We have to change that. For that, we need someone to hit them with a surprise attack from within their compound.
I wish that person luck.
It's you.
That's way out of my league.
Hazel's not asking for your opinion. You proved you were reliable with Hartford. We need your skill sets for such a risky and vital task.
That's precisely what's got me on edge.
It's your chance to prove to the court once and for all that you deserve a place on the council, MM. After this, you'll be untouchable.
I sure hope so. All right. How do I get on this island? By boat?
I doubt it. Coastline's under surveillance.
So I swim across. All right. What then?
Kaya's wrote a program that can help us. If you can upload it into their system, it'll corrupt all the data they've got in their database. Their systems, the archives, it'll all be lost.
Allowing us to cover our tracks.
It's our best shot at making it through this. You'll just have to insert it into a computer that's on their network. That's absolutely essential. Any questions?
Am I allowed to take a partner? I'd feel a lot better about this if I had someone covering my back.
I understand, but that's not possible. We're already taking a risk by sending a person in to infiltrate their hideout.
Got it. So, let me get this straight. You want me to infiltrate the enemy base alone? The same enemies who just slaughtered half the camp.
Quit whining. You can have help.
Oh, really?
Your task will not be easy. You'll need a diversion while you sabotage their system. A raid near their base, for example.
That could work. Who will you send?
I refuse to sacrifice any more of our people. So we might as well send in the riffraff. The Anarchs could do the job.
Come again?
You heard me. I want you to go see them and convince them to go with you to Long Island.
You're trying to thin their herd.
I'm balancing the scales, that's all.
They can't stand us. They'll never agree to fight for us. Let alone on their own without us.
They don't have to know they'll be alone. Lead them to believe our forces will join up with them. The SI is a threat to the entire city. They're just as concerned as we are.
Right then. Let's say I agree.
You don't have a choice, but I'll humor you.
How am I supposed to go about it? I can't just go chasing down every Anarch I know to ask for their help.
There's only one Anarch that counts. Their Baron.
Randall Thane?
That's right. He's in charge of the various Anarch gangs in the region. I don't know where he is right now. You'll need to use your network.
I've got an idea of who I can ask. What can I use as leverage if they try to negotiate?
Money, favors. Offer them whatever seems useful.
All right.
One more thing. Don't tell anyone about your task, not even your sire. I don't want the council poking their noses into this. That will be all. I'm counting on you, MM. Be careful, and good luck.
I'm gonna need it.
There you are. I'm sorry I wasn't here to meet you when you got back. I was busy.
Don't apologize. I missed you, McAndrews. The Jefferson Library, it was hell. I really thought I wasn't gonna make it, that I wouldn't see you again.
Excuse me?
That's all that inspires in you?
You haven't spoken to me like that since our breakup. I'm just a little surprised.
What are you talking about? We never...
Broke up? It's been 30 years, Amem.
What? I don't remember.
Come on. I get the feeling we need to clear up a few things.
Yeah.
Come on, tell me what's going on.
The Warlocks. I knew their library would leave a mark. They fucked with my head.
So, if I understand right, you have no memory of our breakup.
None whatsoever. I really thought that I mean, you know.
There's a reason the Warlocks have a bad reputation.
And you said it's been 30 years?
More or less.
That seems like forever. And then again, the blink of an eye for us.
Believe me, it's been a long 30 years.
I'm sorry, I've gotta go. I need to take some time to process all of this. The prince is sending me out on another task. I can't screw up.
What kind of task?
I'm sorry, but I can't talk about it. Hazel made that exceedingly clear. If she thinks things are better like that, I believe her.
For God's sake, Amem, I'm your sire. You should trust me, not that snake in the grass.
Personally, I've never had anything bad to say about Hazel.
Unlike me. Is that it? You'd be singing a different tune if you knew what I know.
If I knew what?
Nothing. You wouldn't believe me anyways.
Oh, come on. Don't be like that. I'm sorry. You're right, you're my sire, I should believe you. And I do. We good? Would you tell me what you know? Please.
Seriously, you don't think you're laying it on a little too thick?
Not at all.
You can be such a pain sometimes. Hazel's a smart woman. She knows what she needs to do to get what she wants. And she wants you.
That's going too far.
You think it's an honor, but you should really be worried. Hazel never does anything she's not sure she'll benefit from, which means she's got ways to make you bend to her will. She's careful to hide her secrets from you, safe behind her herald. Tonight could be your last chance to discover them. Very well, let's move on. You're right. You should go get some rest, and do think over what we've discussed. Promise me you'll be careful.
I'll try. Alcohol. Ugh. I always hated that smell.
Don't even think about it.
I wasn't going to. Hey, Sylvia.
Hey, how are things? Let me know if you need anything.
think we have time to just laze around? You need to be fast and effective. Destroy anything we don't need. Keep what's important. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
I'd better hurry. A direct route to the prince's apartments. April plays the guard dog. The Swan's Nest. I hope it's worth it. I didn't know Hazel was into music. There are faint marks on the wall. I've always found swans very moving. They're beautiful, but full of melancholy. It's a nice symbol. I get the feeling something's missing. I get the feeling something's missing. Hazel had another child before Miley? Shit, I had no idea. Seeing as how it ended, I'm not really surprised. I understand better now why Dijon never mentioned his sire. Hazel's always one step ahead. There are faint marks on the wall. I should go. It's gonna be a long night. First, the Anarchs. But I have to find them first.